All right, everyone. Super excited to take y'all on this journey with this, um, with all of us here, I guess. Yeah. So basically, what we're doing this week is trying to plot out. We're in Texas, kind of in the land of the plains, but future farm forest. Wait, food forest. Yeah, food forest. So I've been watching tons of videos on like permaculture and agriculture and all this cool stuff. So step one is trying to slow some of this water down that's on our property. The watershed is probably going to be pretty intense. I haven't even been here with the good rain in, but it's got a really nice slope to it. And it all goes down to a creek in the center. So what the goal is to capture that water by throwing in some what they call swales, and that is going to slow that water down from just going straight into the creek and then off. That also will capture some of the nutrients that gets wiped out whenever that watershed happens. So the creek that I'm referring to is right in the center of the property, and probably two swales on each side. And then I think we're going to dig out the center of this property to have maybe like a small pond. I'm not planning on holding any water at the moment here. The goal is to plant a bunch of fruit trees and nut trees and who knows, all sorts of different trees. And then once those start kind of getting established, we're going to plant some of the like berry bushes and things like that along those swells that are going to be holding the water a little bit more. So this weekend we've got a skid steer. My brother Ralph's going to come out and try to do some earthworks. Ideally, I want to have it all finished before spring comes, and that way once it hits, we'll have plants in the ground, trees in the ground. I think right now, like, the primary is trees in the ground. I really want to get these trees in before it starts raining so they can establish some roots, and hopefully they'll make it over summer. We'll probably have to water quite a bit, but hopefully we get it in a little early enough. It won't be so bad to have to transport water all the way down here. I guess before we get too far, so this is kind of what the little creek looks like. You can see some like drop off. It's really hard to get the capture any like contours, but you could see like where the water would make this ground pretty soft, and the cows are just walking through it, making it all super ruddy. These are all cow footprints. Just maybe dig all this out and make it a little deeper pocket, and then plant some trees around it. I've got this like fantastic vision and dream of what I want it all to be. I just don't think it's gonna go the way I want it to. So it'll be cool to see everything that we try and everything that fails. But in the next 5 to 10 years, what does that look like, right? So ideally we're gonna have these swells in here, capturing all that stuff, all the goodness, growing some plants, and then in between them, we're gonna plant a bunch of seed out here for the animals to graze on. Hopefully we'll have enough food for like some sheep, maybe a couple of cows, not 5, and then the chickens, and we'll do some of that rotational grazing that there's all the rave about. I've got sucked into this permaculture thing. Just don't watch YouTube or Justin Rhodes, because that guy will capture you. And next thing you know, you go buy some random spot and think you can transform the ecosystem. What a maniac. This is going to be exciting. But just the way the water flows, we're going to move that on this side. Probably try to dig this out a little bit more. I got a video of it, so I'll swipe it in there. But dig this out a little bit more and then plant some trees around it. All the round things are trees once again. And then do swell back here, swell with a pond right here in the back. This is going to provide the water for all this. So this provides the water for this provides the water for this, and then this provides the water for this. And we'll see. Big dreams, no experience, but YouTube is bad to the bone. YouTube is bad to the bone. I have got to work on the other house and getting that thing put together so we can get it out and rented. So for those that don't know, we are renting out our other house. Some supplemental income with that will help pay for this. Additionally, I don't want to sell that house just because I love that house. And who knows what the future brings. Maybe somebody in my family will want to buy it from me. Worst comes to worst, I sell it and I've got some equity in it, and that'll kind of help support this. But yeah, I've got to spend some time over there getting that finished up, and we will, once that thing's off my hands and rented, oh man, it's gonna be awesome. Right now everything is just kind of there's a lot of stuff going on, and I just had COVID last week and I did all right. Nobody else in the family got it, so that's good. You know what, I think I came up with a swale idea. I think as I'm over here looking at all this, kind of mapping out the little creek pond that we want to do, I am noticing that a lot of that nutrient washout that I was talking about just got washed down to this creek. And I bet you the bottom of this creek here is super fertile. So I was curious on what we were going to do with all the dirt that we dig out, to try to make this pond be like a little bit bigger. Not really a pond, but you know, just a water accumulation spot, I guess, if you will. What are we gonna do with all this dirt? And I think instead of digging out those swales that I was marking down, we just take some of this dirt from this creek and line it up where those swales are supposed to be versus digging down. I don't know, we may need to, just depending on how much dirt we take out. If you see right here, I've got some stakes kind of spread about on both sides, and maybe even some of the center here. Like, this is all probably super fertile mud with a bunch of cow poo in it. But if we dig all this out, and I'm thinking like dig it down to like 6 feet or so, we're gonna have a lot of dirt. And if we want those swells, I mean, those swells don't have to be very big. They could be probably, I don't know, 24 inches, 2 foot tall. So we take some of this dirt and just make some lines out there where we want the swells to be, and then just throw some wood chips in front of those swells, and that's where that water will accumulate. This is not good. Not sure what got eaten here. It's an all-white bird. What was it, AJ?
It's a chicken. Chicken that be eating a coyote.
You think that coyote ate it?
Uh-huh.
Let's go check our chickens, make sure they're safe.
We are missing one. Oh no, we missed two. Mommy coyote.
It's too what?
It's too dangerous.
Too dangerous out there?
Uh-huh.
Why was nobody there to protect them?
Let me go on a motorcycle.
What are you gonna do on the motorcycle?
I go check it out. Woody eat our 10 white chickens.
You gonna go check to see if the coyote ate our white chicken?
Uh-huh.
I think the evidence is clear.
Hey, let me go check out. That's a little bit white.
I think you're just trying to trick me to go for a motorcycle ride. You trying to go on a little motorcycle ride? Look at me. Yeah? You're a goof. All right, so it's late Sunday afternoon. It's probably like 7 o'clock. But I've been working on the other house all day, and Ralph's been out here trying to dig this pond and build my swells or berms or whatever the heck you want to call them. And we have got some really, really good dirt out here, which is super cool. But it's the first time I've operated one of these skid steers, and this got some grapple claws on it. Man, this thing is awesome. Like, I've never operated one of these, and I feel like I'm kind of a natural. Don't want to show off, but I feel pretty good. A little bit of guidance, and bam, let's go. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get some better footage of everything once it's done. And I think we're probably only going to get one side today, but may have to do this again. Stay tuned. This pond's getting dug. Here's all that we dug out. And you can see we got 2 berms set up there. I don't know if you can call them swales because we didn't dig in front of them, but I think they're kind of bermish. Got some pretty deep spots. It's probably 4 or 5 feet deep. AJ's saying some mighty weird stuff. What'd you say, AJ?
I'm gonna say that Woody's dead.
Well, that's a strange request, baby. Place. Ooh, the dogs. They sure do like out here. All right, so we got our berms put in. I think they're swales or berms. They're kind of the same thing. I think swales, you have to like dig out the front. These aren't necessarily dug out in the front. They're just kind of berms. But you can see here, we just got them lined up. And they look a little goofy right now, but we're gonna throw some grass seed on them. And then I think I'm gonna drive that tractor over them to kind of smooth them out a little bit. And then this is where we dug out. It's probably 30 by 30 or something like that. I'd probably have to walk it. But it's about 6 feet, maybe 5, 6 feet, something like that. And really this is just like the beginning. I think that neighbor on that side, I haven't met him yet, but I talked to my brother a little bit, or talked to Ralph a little bit. But I think he wants a pond as well. So we might just do the old doubly-do and make it pretty large between the 2 properties. And that would be awesome. I don't know that this will hold water. Really the intent here was to get those berms up and not even really make this a pond, but if it turns into one, so be it.